All right, Shalom, Aki and his brother Shalom. You coming at you with a quick lesson. I was just doing some studying and just being on my watch and going through a couple of different articles and seeing what's going on in the world, man. And, the spirit was put on me to to basically do this lesson that our salvation is definitely closer than what we believe, because the destruction of Great Babylon is closer than what we believe. I know I brought out a video a while ago talking about the war drums, but if you see what's going on in the world, you will know that that World War III is basically, it already started, man. I know it's not a full scale, everybody's fighting everybody, but technically, it's kind of like a Cold War. Behind the scenes is actually already going on, and I'm gonna bring in a couple articles to to prove that and to expound on with some scriptures. But first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. I want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and rule well. Say shalom to the elect and the Akim that's pushing a rock to the four corners of the earth, trying to seal the elect to bring Yahweh Shai back sooner so we get out of this wicked kingdom and establish our own. So I'm pretty sure from the title of this article, you can see it says, "Stop the Denial. Ukraine is a proxy war that will lead to wider world war." Now, this article is going to explain what a proxy war is as I read it. But we all know, like through the spirit, that the Ukrainian military needed aid from NATO and Western powers, because, when we first started, when the war first started, the first thing they were talking about was, the citizens are taking up arms and trying to defend themselves. Now we're talking about Russia, the elite of the elite men of the Edomites, man. I feel like Russia's men, or Russia itself, have the that's their elite mighty men. That's their mighty men, man. Out of all the Edomites on the planet, they have the most well-trained, fighters, man. And do you really believe, Salakia, let me turn this off. Do you really believe that natural citizens were out there and holding, positions and actually fighting off, the great bear, if you will? Because we know that that Russia is likened unto a bear. So I'm going to read a little bit of this and I'm going to get into some scripture. It says, "At the onset of the Russian incursion into Ukraine, I argued in my article, Order Out of Chaos, how the Ukraine conflict is designed to benefit globalists." Now, we know the globalists are the elite on the left-hand side. We know, that's, the Rothschilds, the Bilderbergs, those who own all the banks, the lands, and basically control governments and lands behind the scenes, all right? It says that U.S. boots would be on the ground within a few months. I was wrong. As it turns out, U.S. and European military boots were already on the ground. Now, when you listen to Biden's address, he said that he would not put American troops on the ground in Ukraine. He would just give aid. But this was all a lie. We know that you are your father, the devil, man. And you are the father of lies, man. We know that Esau is a liar, man. But this was all a proxy war. So they already had American and European troops in Ukraine actually fighting the Russians. So it wasn't the Russians fighting Ukrainians. It was Ukrainians actually fighting the Western powers. I'm going to keep reading. It says, "I was wrong. As it turns out, U.S. and European military boots were already on the ground. Ukraine was a proxy war from the very beginning." But what is a proxy war? Really? It means that Russian troops are fighting Ukrainian soldiers that are intermingled with Western advisors and most likely U.S. and European special forces, not to mention U.S. intelligence operatives utilizing all the information gathering technology at the disposal of the Department of Defense. In other words, Russian soldiers are being killed by Western assets. Some pro-Ukraine people might ask, why is this a problem? It says, to understand the gravity of the situation, we have to first examine the historical significance. The closest event in history that I could approximate is Ukraine to its Vietnam, when communist elements within the country were receiving constant aid, weaponry, and even some troops from China, along with monetary and technological aid from the Soviet Union. Vietnam was essentially a safe arena or cage match between the West and communism, a place where the paradigm players could fight it out without risk of a larger nuclear exchange. The globalists could sit back, relax, and watch the show while Americans sacrificed their lives over a conflict that did not need to exist. Ukraine is similar, but the stakes this time are much higher. This is probably why the mainstream media and the White House have been in full denial that Ukraine is a proxy war at all and have consistently downplayed the complex involvement of Western military assets. Like I said, Biden has been openly saying that he would not put American boots on that soil. He would not send troops over there. But that was a lie altogether. Just like I think it was like last month, even the conflict between China and Taiwan. America had vowed to defend Taiwan with all its power, and there was articles coming out that America had actually put troops and weapons in Taiwan, stationed weapons and troops in Taiwan. Then it was kind of buried by the media, to hide the fact that it's what's really going on. But I'll get into that in a second. It says Ukraine is similar, but the stakes this time are much higher. This is probably why the mainstream media and the White House have been in full denial that Ukraine is a proxy war at all and have consistently downplayed the complex involvement of Western military assets. The fact is that Ukraine would have fallen completely by now had it not been for the fact that Russia is not really facing Ukraine. It is facing a proxy force of U.S. and European support elements feeding intel, weaponry, and likely direct kinetic support. And kinetic energy or kinetic support means like direct contact. They're actually kinetic means direct force. It's propelling a direct force. So World War III is basically already here. We're already in the elements of World War III, but this also means that America is setting its own self up because, mind you, it's basically falling into its own traps and snares because we know the prophecy says that they will be destroyed by the rest of the world. All his allies and his enemies will utterly destroy it, which I'm gonna get to in a second. But let me get this. Let me get Revelations 11:14 first. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna get right back to Jeremiah 50 because I'm going right into that. I'm gonna make this real quick, brothers. I just wanted to bring this out. Let me see. Revelations 11 and I believe it's 14. Real quick. And it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. We are technically already in World War III. The same time that Jacob's trouble is about to start ramping up. It's about to be some crazy times coming out here. We already know, like, they're, and I'm not getting off topic, but this is all, according to Matthew 24, the beginning of sorrows. Like, we know it's going to be famines, pestilence, wars, and rumors of wars in diverse places, and all these calamities and things that are going to happen. If you brothers have been on your watch, you know that they're saying the drought has affected beef supply. We know that the wheat supply is destroyed. They're talking about droughts of water supply. They're going to start rationing in the West. Talking about in California. They're also talking about how there's new diseases on strawberries that just came out today. I think it's salmonella or hepatitis or something like that on the strawberries. Like the food chain is being destroyed, the water supply is being destroyed, and then America is systematically shooting itself in the foot by having these proxy wars around the world and basically poking the bear. But we know this is all controlled by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So let me go back to the article. And at the very top, if you just read the headline, it says, "Stop the denial. Ukraine is a proxy war that will lead to wider world war," which we already know is World War III. So World War III is actually already going on. And if you just seen recently, matter of fact, let me just get that article. Matter of fact, let me see. I think it's, I can just find it right here. And then I'm going to get into, so now mind you, just recently as well, Ukraine has been admitting defeat, right? Has been admitting defeat to Russia. Now we know that Russia was never going to lose that because prophecy says that Russia is going to lead the charge versus America. So we knew that wasn't going to happen. But you see how China was one of the main countries backing Russia on the political scale. They were calling out America on its war crimes in different areas. They were calling out, the propaganda machine and basically sticking up for Russia, right? Now that supposedly the war in Russia is starting to, simmer down, trust and best believe, now you're going to see China go, okay, well, look, Russia, we backed you. We had your back. Now it's our turn. We're going to go into Taiwan and we're going to go and handle that. We need you to come back us like we backed you. These are the world's armies being stirred up. And I'm going to read a little bit of this. Then I'm going to get some scriptures. It says, leaked audio from a top secret meeting confirms that Chinese military is preparing to invade Taiwan. Now, we've been hearing about it with their military drills, flying their bombers and jets over Taiwan, basically, telling America, go ahead and try me, go ahead and try me. Just recently, I think like a week ago, Russia and China had military drills in the South Pacific Sea. Basically, once because Biden was over in Japan having his little treaty. And then so everybody is basically telling America, go ahead and try me. We know you're weak. We know you're weak. They smell blood in the water. But I'm going to read. It says, according to the leaked audio from a top secret meeting of Chinese military officials, China may soon launch an invasion of Taiwan. Just so happened, as soon as Russia is basically saying we won, Ukraine is admitting defeat, Ukraine's mad at the West for not helping more. All of a sudden, now China is starting to, push their buttons. Like, all right, let's go over and do what we got to do. So it says, The Blaze recently reported that an audio clip revealing dialogue between officials from China's military, the People's Liberation Army, surfaced on YouTube, marking the first time since the formation of the People's Republic of China in 1949 that a recording of a top secret meeting of China's military command has leaked. Now, did it really leak, or was it posted on purpose? That could be another way of China saying, look, we don't care what you say, what you do. We got Russia with us. We got a couple other allies with us, and you seem weak. What can you do about it? It says the Times reported that the video containing the meeting conversation, along with English translation of what is being discussed, appears authentic. Reportedly, allies within the Chinese Communist Party and the PLA recorded an audio. There is now an ongoing manhunt to uncover the source of the leak. According to the audio, during the operation against Taiwan, the Chinese military will have to safeguard the Pearl River Delta area in the Guangdong province. The Guangdong province is a densely populated part of China and home to much of China's domestic industry, right? The Guangdong province is often created with being the heartbeat of Chinese industry. It includes the world-class trading hub and high-tech capital, Shenzhen, where digital behemoths, Huawei and Tencent Industries are headquartered. It also included Hong Kong, Macau, and the furniture capital, Dongguan. Slovakia, if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's responsible to conclude that the protection of the Pearl River Delta is crucial to the CCP, preserving the stability of the Guangdong region and China in general, because that's where they basically create most of their commerce. So they're saying, look, so basically behind the scenes, they were strategically going, okay, look, how can we invade Taiwan? What measures do we have to take to protect our own economy, our own people, and our own industries, which we've been seeing articles about that for the past couple of months about China, instead of dropping the dollar right away, how can we keep our economy going? The same thing that Russia did, where they went straight to the ruble, and how they started, if you're going to put sanctions on us, we're going to sit here and cut off our oil supply. And the only way to get our oil is to pay us back in ruble, which will basically keep our economy afloat. So everything is strategic that's going on. And we know that Yahabashim al-Shah is controlling all of this and moving the pieces like chess, man. America out here playing checkers, and Yahabashim al-Shah is playing chess, man. All right. It says, should these areas be compromised by China's enemies, large swaths of the Chinese economy will become extremely vulnerable. Some of the leaked audio from the top secret meeting confirmed that the invasion would be a massive operation. So right here, this could be the full-scale World War III, because if China goes full-scale, just like, because mind you, if you know anything about the Russian invasion, it wasn't really an invasion. It was more of, what's that word? It was more of... like a war games, like simulation. It was like, look, man, we're gonna go in here. We gotta, liberate Donbass. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna just make sure that they're not putting nuclear bombs and weapons and chemical shit in our backyard. We're not really trying to take over Ukraine. But China, on the other hand, they're literally saying, look, man, they're supposed to be a part of us. They're not supposed to be sovereign. We have the rights to that land, and we want them back. So they're talking full-scale invasion, what could very well turn this into full-scale World War III. Now, I didn't say nuclear World War III, it just said full-scale World War III. We know that other prophecies have to happen before those things happen. But we already know that America has placed troops and weapons in Taiwan from a few months ago when they first were talking about it. And then China was very upset and told them to, yo, stay out of it. We also know that America has been selling destroyer ships and different types of submarines in the area, trying to show some kind of force. But we also know that that China has been flying nuclear bombers, their fighter jets, and all types of and using all types of weapons to show their force. So we know that that we're almost at that crescendo, if you will. We're at that peak where everything's about to crash together. All right. So let me get into some scriptures. I'm not going to read too much more into this. This kind of goes into it, brothers. This is the article right here. If you want to go read the video, if you want to watch the audio and everything. But let me go to Jeremiah 50, because we are literally coming to that great conflict where America, is going to be caught with his dick in his hand, man. And I think I'm gonna start at 9. It says, I could have started up, but I'm starting 9. It says, for lo, Jeremiah 50:9, it says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And this is talking about them ICBM nuclear missiles. We're just talking about that full arsenal, man. We know the Most High is going to open us full armory when it comes to America, man. And this armory can go into all types of weapons, man. The Most High can make, mind you, we had the cicadas and the locusts eating up the crops. We have a drought going on. We have, the lettuce was recalled for salmonella. We had freaking farmlands being burned because of wildfires. We've had pestilences going out. We've had, fires that have been happening to all the food plants. The Most High is literally sieging America in all aspects, man. And America thinks that, they're going to come out of this. They're going to come out of this on top, man. Because, the scripture says we will come and rebuild the desolate places. Quite paraphrasing or whatever. But we know that's not going to happen because this is the end all be all for America. But I'm going to keep reading. It says, verse 10, it says, and Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, save Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass and bellows as bulls. See, they're grown fat, man. America is ripe for the slaughter, man. America is ripe for that great sacrifice that's going to happen when the lake of fire hits, when the ICBM missiles be shot from the four corners of the earth and destroy the place. They've been made fat, man, and they're ripe for the slaughter, man. They're ripe for the slaughter. It says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Now, we could say your mother. Who's the mother of America? We could say Europe, England, Britain. They're going to be ashamed because we already know that all America's allies are going to turn on them. So this could even talk about how the mother of Great Babylon is going to be ashamed and basically shoot nuclear missiles over here, which we know that's true. It says, your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Why? Because of ICBM nuclear missiles, man. It says, because of the wrath of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. But put yourself in array against Babylon round about. And this is the Most High talking to all the nations, man. All the nations, put yourself in array, man. Put yourself in battle array, And I can go into Joel 3 and 10 and 12. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that in a second because that goes into beat your plowshares into spears, I believe. I'm going to get that in a second. But that's the Most High, getting the mighty men together, man. To do what? To get ready for the battle. To do what? To get ready to destroy America, with that righteous indignation, man, with the Most High's anger. And it says, verse 14, put yourself in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh Shem Shah. Shout against her round about. She have given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of Yahweh Shem Shah. Like I said, it's the righteous indignation. Take vengeance upon her as she had done do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. Now I'm gonna leave it there because it's gonna shift gears. But if you go to Jeremiah 51, it goes more into the destruction of Babylon, and, and the nuclear missiles and everything like that, man. But I'm bringing all this out to just highlight the fact that America is trying to be deceptive. But what they're not understanding is they're literally digging their own grave, man. They're digging their own grave. Matter of fact, because I spoke about it, let me go to WW3 real quick. Let me just get that. Let me see. Slovakia. I got to use the blue letter app. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Joel, 3rd chapter. And I believe it's like 10 through 12. No, I'm going to start at 9. And it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause the mighty one to come down, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And this is that utter conclusion that we're getting to, man. America is going to be destroyed off the face of the earth via prophecy, and then the rest of the world is going to be put under heel, man, by Yahweh Shem Yahushua when he comes and cracks the sky in that last great battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. But these are all the things that are literally like a domino effect that are all coming together, man. All right. Now, look, I could have brought out a little bit more scriptures, but through the Spirit, I wanted to make this quick. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders of great millstone, and shalom to the elect.